Hey, how are you doing? Recently, timely both of topics about Harry and Meghan, who are the former royal family members of British, and a couple Mako, who is a former imperial family of Japan, and Kei Komuro has attracted a lot of people's attention from the media. So I want to talk about my impression, seeing their circumstance from outside. But I don't mean to show my contempt for either one, comparing difference between both of them in terms of whether it is superior or inferior. But I want to, talk about my candid impression that I feel based on the information that I got by the general media. So, from my eyes, a couple Mako and Kei Komuro is making really great effort to get used to living in the United States, in New York, and they try hard to get along well with people around them in American society as normal citizens, as normal American residents, right? So they are trying really hard, and they are really doing really hard to somehow establish a new second life as normal citizens in the States. But you know, in contrast, when I see behaviors of Harry and Meghan, they can't abandon their sense of privilege as a royal family member of British in their deep mind. So they have been still taking advantage of the influence of the British royal family member even after they abandoned the status of British royal family members, right? They made really great sponsorship agreement with various companies on their business by taking advantage of the brand that they used to be a royal family member of British, and they got huge revenue from it. And they don't work in the United States, but they maintain their living with faded glory that they used to be a royal family members, right? So on top of that, the King of the British, Charles, announced that he decided to lower Harry's rank of the line of succession to the British throne. Harry showed resistance to be ranked in that position, although he demoted from the royal family members to just commoner. He still cares about it. Harry and Meghan are not still independent from the British royal family. So rather, they are not really different from just the royal family members who are sent to a distant place and are downgraded to a trifling job as a royal family member in the United States. So, but in case of Mako and Komuro, they rejected receiving money that was supplied from the Imperial Household Agency of Japan. So they decided to make a living by themselves by not taking advantage of the influence of the Imperial family of Japan, I think. Actually, Mako worked for a museum in the United States, and Kei Komuro is now working as a lawyer in New York City. But Mako perfectly abandoned her pride as the member of imperial family, and she decided to make a living with that, relying on it perfectly. A former princess who has never worked as a normal person in her life is now working for a museum. So this is because money that the imperial family members get comes from tax that we pay, that we Japanese people pay. So in other words, a part of the national budget allocated to the Imperial Household Agency of Japan becomes a salary for the imperial family members of Japan. So Japanese people are really hard on how the Imperial Household Agency of Japan supplied revenue for Japanese imperial family members, and how the imperial family members use money. So the reason that Mako and Kei Komuro went to New York to start new life in the States is because they wanted to escape from watchful eyes from Japanese people well, according to one theory. So they don't want to be despised and criticized from Japanese people about how they use money. So this time, there are a lot of speculations in Japan that they receive a special treatment from the Japanese government, or they are supported financially from the Japanese government through the Imperial Household Agency of Japan. So because the cost of their living apartment located in Hell's Kitchen, right next to the Central Park in New York, is around $70,000, $7,000 per month. So they see that it is impossible for them to live in such an expensive apartment with their income level, right? Plus, apparently, they hire securities who pay for securities, right? If they pay for it, they become insolvent. So Mako and Kei Komuro feel really, really small about this situation because their living condition may be guaranteed by tax that we pay, Japanese people pay. So in contrast, in case of British royal family member, they have their own assets, so that no one had the right to complain about how they use money. So this is the big difference between the royal family member of the British and the imperial family member of Japan. But from my eyes, in terms of Harry and Meghan, they just formally demoted from the British royal family member to normal citizens in the United States. But they didn't want to break off the relationship with British royal family member perfectly, but I think they still want to be respected as royal family members. So I feel this way.